A dialogue on democracy. First, 3 questions, and please don't get too mad with me right away. Question number 1, are you an idiot? Question number 2, are you a tribalist? Question number 3, are you a citizen? Same 3 questions apply to me. Rashid, are you an idiot? Are you a tribalist? Or are you a citizen? I will try and answer these questions later in this clip. Hi, I'm Rashid Kapadia. I have a background in engineering, project management, general management, and I have deep interests in reading, in eloquence, in public speaking, in human behavior, human performance, both at the team and individual level. That's a little bit about me before I answer these questions. Very recently, I came across a talk from a politician and I thought to myself, I haven't heard this for a very long time, and this is an important conversation. So what I'll do now is I'll transition into this conversation, and I plead with you, please watch this speaker for all 7 minutes. If you can't, pause it now and come back when you can. It is an essential speech, and the reason for me to make this video is to encourage you to watch the speech, to listen to it, and to think about it. So here we go, a speaker I recently saw talking about democracy.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very happy now. You know, it is said that there are always 3 kinds of people in any given society. This threefold distinction has been noted and made by notable sociologists and public intellectuals. But this threefold distinction of the 3 kinds of people, it was first identified and first stated by the supporters and founders of democracy in ancient Greece. For the Greek people, the people who in many ways gave us the modern civilized world, for the Greek people, the first kind of people in any given society are the idiots. For the Greeks, the idiot is not necessarily someone who is mentally deficient. Rather, for ancient Greek people, the idiot, they said, is someone who is a totally private person, a totally self-centered person, and a totally selfish person. They called him the idiot. The idiot, he is always out for his personal gain and his personal interests. He does not have a public philosophy. He has no knowledge, no skill, no character, and no virtues to be able to live and to be able to contribute in a flourishing society and community. He is all out for his personal pleasures and for his personal treasures. And the Greeks said that the idiot was just an upgraded barbarian. The first kind of person, the idiot. But the Greeks also said that there is a second kind of people in any given society. And the Greeks called these people the tribes people. When we say tribes people, we don't necessarily mean the fact of belonging to a certain tribe, which is a good thing. But when they use the word tribes people, the Greeks meant a tribal and a tribalistic mentality. And the Greeks said that tribes people are those people who are not able to think beyond their small tribe or their small groups. For tribes people, their primary allegiance, their only allegiance, and their ultimate allegiance is to their tribe. Their tribe is their God, and their religion is tribalism. And tribes people, the Greeks said, are always afraid of things that are different, that are a little alien to them. They are always suspicious and fearful. And they always dealt with different people and difficult situations with intimidation, with force, and with violence. And the Greeks also said that the ideal person for tribes people is the warrior, because tribes people are a war-making people. Their ideal is the warrior. But it was not so for the Greeks. For the Greeks, there was another kind of people, another kind of a person, and that was the ideal person. And the Greeks called this ideal person the citizen. The citizen. And here when we use the word citizen, we are not talking about legal status or political status. We are talking about the idea and the ideal of citizenship. And who is the citizen? The citizen, according to the Greeks, is someone who has the skills and the knowledge to live a public life, who is able to live a life of civility. The citizen recognizes that he or she is a member of a commonwealth and thus strives for the common good. That is the citizen. The citizen, yes, he or she knows his or her rights in a society. But he or she also knows his or her responsibilities to society. The citizen can fight for his rights, but always with an awareness of and with a respect for the rights and interests of others, of their neighbors, of the smallest of minorities, and of the worst of their enemies. And it is citizens, the Greeks said, that make up a civilized society. Because citizens settle their differences with civility. So they produce a civilized society. A society that truly lives up to the meaning of the name society. Society literally means friendship and friendliness. That is the threefold distinction that the Greeks have given us. That is the choice that each and every individual, wherever he or she may be, has to make in a society. And I believe that that is the choice that starkly faces us Naga people today. Will we be idiots, living only for ourselves? Will we be tribalistic, tribes people, unable to think beyond our tribes and our small groups? Or will we be citizens? Citizens in the best sense of the word. Today, on this historic day, I believe I want to make my choice. And I also believe that you will want to make your choice. And I hope you and I will take that right choice. And it is with that hope that I want to finally address you, ladies and gentlemen, as my fellow Naga citizens. May God bless you, and may God bless our Naga people. Thank you.
Hi. I hope that video made you think as much as it made me think. And I'm not even sure if you're exposed to this kind of thinking at all or often enough. And I'm guessing in the current climate, we are not. This is a useful reminder. So while you'll have to answer those three questions yourself for yourself, here's what I think about myself. Yes, I am certainly, as the Greeks called it, I'd like to think I've got enough out here. But yes, when it comes to selfishness, I want to get along, I have ambition, and I want to do this and I want to do that. Yes, I have my fair share of idiocy, and to the extent that that does not contribute, I am responsible. Tribalism. Yes, again, I've been cautious of it. I'm aware that passion can override all of us, and I try to be calm and equanimous with all my dealings. But certainly I have got my fair share of tribalism, and we all need some tribalism. Citizenship, I'm not sure if I'm doing enough. I'm just not sure. Maybe I'm making this video to encourage all of us to ask the same question. So, I don't believe any of us can be only one. we all want to get along. We all want to do well for ourselves. And that element is a fact of life as far as I'm concerned. And the same with tribes. Nobody can be free of tribes. We all have some sense of connection. It may be just a group of runners. It may be a group of musicians. It may be a Toastmasters group. It may be a political party. It may be religion. It may be tribe. It may be anything. But I don't think any of us can go through life with no tribal affections and affiliations. So the question then becomes, in what ratio are we managing these three separate selves of ourselves? The idiot, or the selfish person, or even the barbarian, or whatever. And the tribal, only belonging to one group and ready to be a warrior, or to be a citizen, In what ratio? And I believe that we must commit to at least more than 1/3 to citizenship. Another thought that keeps coming into my mind is that this whole argument is sort of relatively free of science or an engineering thinking. So what is happening inside of me as these battles are going on? I'll just throw out something that you may want to consider when facing these battles. I understand that we are all multiple selves. So we have a prefrontal cortex which is responsible for pause and plan. When we are in pause and plan mode, our prefrontal cortex is in charge. When impulse takes over, our subcortical systems, the limbic systems take over, and frequently we go into fight and flight mode. So impulse control seems to be the separation between fight and flight and pause and plan. And maybe pause and plan will allow us to be better citizenships. And if we don't come here, then it is likely that we will be either idiots or we will be tribalists. One way that may explain what's happening inside of us. Another is, I understand we have two nervous systems, the sympathetic nervous system, which again is fight and flight. But there is a parasympathetic nervous system, which allows us to, it's called rest and digest. In the road, if I commit to being a better citizen or more frequently spending time being a citizen, then rest and digest. Take a look, pause and plan. Take a look at what is happening and commit to being a better citizen. I do believe this is an essential discussion. First, you with yourself and me with myself. And then if we can commit to spending at least 1/3 to half of our time being good citizens, then I encourage you to spread this message. Thank you. Wishing you a world of excellence in citizenship.